Michael, good to see you. Thanks for your time this morning. So we spoke at length about Xi Jinping and Joe Biden yesterday. We don't really need to go into that today. I do want to ask you about Gaza. And I'm sure you've seen the video of what they've been able to see out of the main Al-Shifa hospital, and whether you think that's enough to convince you that there has been some kind of command centre established at that main hospital, as per the charge.
Well, just with regarding President Biden meeting President Xi, yeah, we pretty much laid it out all yesterday. Yeah. What we predicted is exactly what happened.
Although there is a funny moment, just before, while we're on that, now you brought it up, there is a funny moment, I don't know if you've seen, of Antony Blinken wincing when Biden refers to Xi Jinping as a dictator. We're going to turn it around for you folks at the bottom of the hour. It's very good.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for poor Antony Blinken. It's hard for President Biden to walk that comment back from earlier in this year. Is President Xi a dictator? If he was a dictator 6 months ago, he's a dictator now.
Yeah, he's right. Biden's right, but I mean, when diplomacy's at stake, it's like, oh, okay, this is going to cause me a problem for a day.
Yeah, it will. And look, you just got to call it out. There's certain points where you just can't walk away.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the Israeli Defense Force and Al-Shifa Hospital and the others. So I suggest everyone watch the two IDF videos of their spokespeople walking you through Al-Shifa Hospital and through a children's hospital and showing you everything that they found.
Yeah.
And they found stuff.
Yeah, they did.
No question. But they didn't find what they promised. They have not found an underground, hidden command and control center. What they found were, even as what the Israeli military calls, go bags or grab bags full of ammo and vests and uniforms. And we saw this with the Americans in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know, there would be weapons or materials pre-deployed or pre-positioned in different houses throughout a neighborhood across different streets, because the instant you drop your gun and you walk across the road in civilian clothes, you are no longer an insurgent or a combatant. But you know where your next load of weapons are, and it's just across the street.
Yeah.
And that's what they've clearly established. Has been happening in these hospitals. I thought more interesting was the second hospital video, which I urge everyone to watch, which is a children's hospital, where they found a hastily positioned toilet and curtains on walls. And basically, the Israelis believe they found one of the spots underneath a kid's hospital where they think the hostages were being held. So the problem is they haven't accessed the tunnel.
So there's still with those weapons in Al-Shifa, though. You know, there is still weapons there. I mean, what were they doing there? What were they being used for? And I'm sure that there are tunnels that are going underneath that hospital.
Oh, I haven't got a shadow of a doubt that there's all sorts of tunnels going under that hospital, but it's impossible for us to see from the air.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the technology. You know, GPS satellites can't penetrate the ground. Now, the Israelis are currently using ground-penetrating radar. They're dropping robots into tunnel shafts. I understand they found at least 91 so far, but from what I can tell, they're just destroying those tunnel shafts. I'm sure there's a lot more going on than we realise, but you know, we don't see a lot of penetration of Israeli special forces going deep into these tunnels, which are estimated to be as much as 500 kilometres long. So look, like we saw in Afghanistan, like we saw in Iraq, like I've seen in Lebanon, mosques, schools and hospitals are used to store weapons and fighters. But have the Israelis landed that knockout information warfare punch they were hoping for? Not by a long shot. Unless they're holding stuff back from us, the Israelis, they have yet to prove that any of these hospitals are anything more than just dump and go places.
Yep, true.
Which in itself is illegal.
Okay, Michael, good to chat as always. We do have that video of Blinken, but we're out of time, unfortunately. But we'll play it at the bottom of the hour. Michael, good to see you. We'll talk to you soon.